Blast off to adventure in the year 400 billion with cadets Hoek no, it's Cadet Stimpy and Commander Hoek.
Oh, you ruined it.
I did the Ren and Stimpy show. I love that show.
Yes,
good morning, everybody.
welcome.
We thought we'd just
Good morning.
start a little early just because we're here, and we like to banter. We don't get to banter enough. Once the show really gets going, it's like all the pressure to do as many requests as we can before it runs out of time.
Yeah.
Good morning, Golden Bruin, with your trophy yellow smiling. It's so funny how it does.
It doesn't show the emoji, but if you go to YouTube, it'll show the emoji. Yeah, but on this chat, it doesn't show the emoji. It just does the description. Weird.
Yeah. So we were making jokes about the Palantirs that might be happening, so you can dab your eyes because it won't be that bad. It's just going to be a little bit of.
But then you go to X and you already see people out there talking about, oh, this is what happens on a bubble.
Yep.
Like a bubble burst, a bubble pop. Like, come on now. Come on. It's a little bit preemptive for that. A little bit too soon. Like celebrating too soon.
Oh, man. I had this inkling to just dump my GME position like on Monday when it was around 27, and I didn't do it. I guess I'll just keep holding on. I just wanted the cash. I've got a bunch of cash in it, and I'm just eager to do something with it. And I just keep seeing all these opportunities everywhere, left and right. It's like, where can I get cash? Where can I get cash? And
it's just stuck right now. That's all.
Yeah. What I did do is I did dump my ACHR position, my Archer Aviation, just because I think it's going to do some support testing. And I wanted the cash to buy more Bullfrog and maybe some other opportunities. But yeah, I think ACHR could go to maybe as low as 961 if it wants to keep a really nice bullish pattern where it just hit it 5 waves up. Then ABC's down to the 50% retrace. It could do a full port all the way down to, if it takes a long time. This is backwards.
Yeah. All right. Let's 7:30. I'll just get started with the indices here. And so basically this whole week, we starting with the SPY, we can see that it's staying above the all-time high range, the previous big resistance zone. So that's good. Stay above like 609. I think that's all that's really matters, right? It already back tested that earlier this week. So yeah, just keep staying above it. Build a base on top, then it goes higher. So if it does start to close below, though, then perhaps it's just another fake out and then retest up support again. But until then, it looks like a good development for continuation. And the QQQ, same thing, right? It's going back above like a big previous resistance zone, this black line, 533. And now it's staying above it. So perhaps this is ready to also just continue to build a base and continue higher. But the IWM, it is still stuck underneath the 226.74. But the good news is it's above all the other indicators on the weekly chart. It's higher highs, higher lows. It's a beautiful setup. And your support is still this 224.60 baseline right here. And I think all it's doing is buying time to get closer and closer and closer to the cloud. So whenever that happens, maybe the next few weeks, months, whatever, it's probably going to start its uptrend once again. So just a patience game with this one. And it looks ready, but it needs to just prove it by getting back above this 226.74.
Yep. Do you want to leap straight into a look at Bitcoin real quick?
Yeah, I'll look at Bitcoin and
part of the indices.
So, yeah, Bitcoin here, we can see that it's stuck in between a big range there. But more importantly, where did my fibs go? I had them on here, but I lost them forever. But more importantly, it's just still stuck inside of this fib range here, right? The 91,100 and the 102, right, on linear scale. So it's basically right in the middle of that range. And with that said, it still is stuck underneath the conversion line, the the Tenkin of the Ichimoku 99,260. So that is your resistance for Bitcoin, and it's been stuck under there for almost a month now.
Yeah.
And then we can see that it's not going to get more bullish. It's not going to try to break out until it gets back above that. So that's going to be the minimum target to try to clear this Sunday or the future Sundays for the weekly candle closes, 99,260. But yeah, don't celebrate too soon by, oh, it's 97,000 again. And don't like panic when it's, oh, it's 93,000, right? It doesn't matter. It's in the same range. Like,
Yeah.
this is still a bullish development, still very good, but it's not looking ready to break out just yet because it's still kind of stuck. So good developments, but not yet.
Yeah. Looks like there's a little triangle there, though. I mean, it looks like it's definitely
Yeah.
it's ranging, but the it seems like the resistance level is sloping down and the support level sloping up. So maybe it'll reach some sort of climax here soon.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the cloud is still way over here. Is it going to
Oh
wait till
God.
July? Is it going to wait till
Yeah. No.
July to do
Yeah.
something?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe it could.
Yeah, maybe it could.
It's weird when Bitcoin starts to look like a stable coin.
Yeah. I mean, it's healthy, right? It's healthy, but if you need more volatility to get those massive gains, and that's why I think altcoins are a lot more appealing to people, especially XRP. And I do see a request for XRP, so I might as well just jump into that too with
XRP. XRP.
XRP. So there's really no big change on this one either. It's still above this 225.877, this 886, building a nice base on top of it. Same with Tesla, right? Tesla's doing the exact same thing, building a base on top of its 886 as well. So similar. I like it. And also linear scale here. It's getting back above this 263, the 786 on linear scale, which is also the same as Tesla too. So if you like XRP, you should like Tesla because they're basically doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, which is a very good development for both of them. And
Yeah.
I think as long as it stays above the 263 and at minimum stay above the 225, this thing is going to blast off again one of these days, one of these weeks, one of these months, whenever, right? We'll see. But the development is there for another continuation higher. Let's just see what it takes to get back above it.
Yes, indeed. Gosh, now I'm kind of tempted to have you show us your Tesla chart and just show us where that 786 linear is.
Yeah, so here we go. Tesla. There's the 886 on log, see, 353, doing the same thing as XRP. Then you get a linear. Oh, the 786 on linear, it's the 347. So it's the
Ah,
exact
the
same thing as
baseline right
XRP.
there.
Yeah, and the baseline's right there too. And you know what else is right there, Tracker? It is also the 20-week moving average of the Bollinger Band is right there too at 354.77. So
Oh,
lots of support there, lots. So people that are assuming it's going to crash, it has to break through this. Lots of support first, and I think it's less likely to do that than it is to hold. So people that
right.
are hoping for lower are probably going to be missing out. People that capitulated down here in the 330s or 320s are probably regretting that or hoping it goes lower. But I think market makers are maybe not going to let that happen because there's a lot of confluence of support that they want to maintain. But I could see it just going sideways though for a while. Maybe it comes back up to the 370s, 380s. Maybe it goes sideways and then gets closer to the cloud. Could that be June? Because you were saying something about staying
Oh my
sideways for a
God.
while for a lot of the year.
I hope
So
not. But maybe
could that
it's
be the
definitely
case?
possible.
Yeah.
Definitely within the possibility. Yeah, you could sort of just see with the Bollinger Bands right there on the weekly chart how it basically it jumped out way too far out of the Bollinger Band and then went straight to Cantonese cat jail and had to drop back down
Yeah.
to that middle Bollinger
But we
20.
can put on the monthly Bollinger Band, and I want to show you that it is underneath that one too. So that
Yeah,
392 it might be some resistance for some time. So that could be another reason why it is going to go sideways for a little bit, possibly because it won't be able to break above the 390s for some time. So, but with that said, I think yeah, it's a recovery. It might take some time, but I think people that are saying 300, 280, zero, whatever they're saying out there, I think they maybe just panic sold and they're hoping for lower. But that's usually doesn't happen when enough people got liquidated.
let's see. If you pop my screen up, I'll just show you what I'm thinking about Archer Aviation. I just want to let people know that I did I didn't take profit. All the profits where I should have. It looks like Archer is in a retrace, and so I sold all my position yesterday because I didn't want to wait for this retrace to finish out. If I had more time and didn't need the money, I would have just left it in there and let it drop down to here and then run back up again. But I want to use the money for some other stuff like Bullfrog. Actually, wait, let me just do on this chart of here. Here's Bullfrog. I was kind of tracking this diamond or this triangle position. It looked like it broke out, but then it went back in. So now it's starting to look like maybe a diamond pattern, but with a continuation to the upside. Anyway, or this could like make a nice bullish W. I bought down here at 3:30 this morning pre-market with some of that Archer Aviation money, and I'm looking for Bullfrog to continue higher. Uh, Somewhere 687, 720, somewhere in there. That's what I'm hoping for. If I'm wrong, it'll just go back to sleep for a little bit, but it probably has established a new support level in this zone between $4 and $3. And let's just talk about Palantir because that was the big news at the end of the day yesterday. Some people are saying, oh, it's because CARP sold shares. Others are saying because uh, Doge has told the Pentagon to reduce defense spending. I don't know. Either way, it seems like it finally topped out at is oh, this is the wrong chart background. Hang on one second. I just want to switch this to where I've got these fibs already drawn in. So it basically, if you look at Matt's fibs, oh, these are things are so small. I'm sorry because of my phone coordinate. No, style 16. Okay, if you look at the fibs on the left, from the low of 2123 to the high of 8480 was sort of the 100% fib level that I set up here. And then it went all the way to the 1618 up here, or just shy of it. No, it crossed it. So Matt's 1618, $124. It just crossed it, and that was the line. And then now it's got to check back for support, and it could check all the way back to the 100% level, or just slightly above it. I've got these extension fibs on the right, retracement on the left, extension on the right. It made it almost the 100% extension. Normally, I would have expected to go to 764, 382, and it just kept going. So let's see if it goes to my 382 now, or if it stops somewhere in between. It seems like it's kind of set up, though it could go all the way down. This is where I'll be buying, adding Palantir back. Actually, I'm going to buy it as PTIR, the 2X Palantir, and ride it for even higher from here. So what on the longer degree chart, my fib extensions, if it's the 2382, that's $216 for Palantir in the future. And it's like all of this where it just dropped back from the 125 high to wherever it drops down to. I think it's just going to be a larger degree wave one. Like this was the 1-2, and this is the wave 3 minor 1, minor 2, indicating a big wave 3 up. Looks like I'm going to have to change these though, because if that's the wave 1, this wave 4 is going to drop back that far. It'll probably go higher. Maybe I should put this to 1618.
Cat is saying,
sorry, I'm taking more time on that.
Cat is saying, can you chart what the long investor is seeing with Palantir? With a big arrow down to the 30.
Can I do what?
He's saying, can you chart?
Oh,
he wants
the big arrow.
Yeah, he wants to see what the long investor is seeing, because apparently it's a bubble that's about to pop, is what he's saying. The long investor.
It can't go. it shouldn't go that low. I mean, that's just kind of crazy. Let's see. If I suppose if I took a retracement from the all-time high now and pulled it to here's the pandemic low. I'm trying to get the pandemic low right there. And now I got to push them to the right so I can see them. Maybe a 618 would be $60. It's not going to go to $30. That's nuts. That's just too much retracement. No, I don't see this gray hour at all. It's funny to think about though. There we go. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Nope, still the wrong one. All right, why don't you talk about something else while I fix my chart?
Yeah, I'll talk about some Palantir as well right now. So here is a couple of things. Let me switch my screen. All right, here we go.
The wrong investor. That's funny.
The long
Golden
invest.
Bruin.
It is him. It's true. So here we go. Palantir. Where is it going to go? Well, I think probably now is this 104, right? A back test of this 104.21. So that could be the target. So if people that got too excited yesterday, oh yes, it's going down. Like always wait for like a high time frame support, and there wasn't one anywhere near here. So the next one would be 104, and after that would be the 90s. So therefore, can it get to the 90s? Can it get to the 80s? Well, I think that is a potential, and the reason why is because this angle, which I thought was actually had a potential of breaking to a support, it actually did not, because it was just a fake out, right? It just got the liquidity up here it needed, and then it just got sold off. So this was always a resistance zone, and it always has been ever since August of 2023. So it just kept on going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And up here, guess what? It's still resistance. So no coincidence there. And if it doesn't hold the 104 or the 90s, then yes, I think a back test of the ARK could be possible, which would be 86 or so before continuing higher once again. So I think that's a Max Payne kind of a scenario down there. And would that be an opportunity for everybody that missed this giant move? Yeah, I think so, because then we have the next level to see. And the next level is like the 270s. So basically, this is a very, very bullish development. We need the volatility to continue to get these gains to go much, much higher. So a sell-off like today or yesterday or whatever is actually very minuscule in the grand scheme of things. But if it does get the volatility to go back down to the 90s or 80s, that'd be even better for a super good bounce back towards all-time highs and beyond. So, yeah. Basically, if you're going to be aggressive, then yeah, maybe 104 could be a good spot, but it could get a little bit more liquidity underneath down in the 90s or so. So just be a little bit patient with this one and don't chase. This is the exact same reason why I say you don't buy resistance. This is why right here. This was resistance. You do not want to buy it because the risk reward is not in your favor.
Yep. Well, I've got EOSC on deck just to remind people what I see here. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was looking for. Here's my larger degree, wave 1, wave 2, and so my minor degree. Actually, what is going on with this? This is my larger degree, wave 1, wave 2, and this is the wave 3, wave 4, and then so here where it's supposed to, I'm expecting wave 5 to go up to 888. I'm still expecting that. It's just that while the wave 2 was, I guess, relatively shorter, the wave 4 is taking a lot longer. And so it's just, it had a nice start and that kind of fell over. But as long as it doesn't make a new lower low, then 442, it's really just still in the wave 4. And eventually this will find support. And I do expect to move up to my 488, to my $8.88 here. At this 2236 fib extension, and then you can see I already plotted like what the retracement could look like. So yeah, look for it. This is sort of being resistance now again. So maybe this will be support, about 525 or maybe 511, where it's sort of stuck under right now, after hitting that high, and then the whole larger degree chart just keeps going up. So, in the long term, yeah, $20 easy. 1998 for the this. I'm not even sure what to call that now. Oh, it's a retracement because EOS used to be much higher. So just for a 618 retracement is 1998. All right, there you go, EOSE.
And I want to do a request for one of my Patreon subs that I see out there. I'll do them first. NVO. And what do I see with NVO? So here's my log scale chart from the 2015 high down to the 2016 low here. You can see it's starting to lose this 2.618 as a support. So does that mean that it really needs to go back down to this 2.272? I don't think so. And the reason why is when you go to linear scale, that is the full extension right here. And it already back tested it a few times. So I think that a back test of the full extension is really good. So 77 to 82 is what I'm really looking for as holding that support. And I think as long as that holds, then it's going to go blast through this log scale 89.14 and recover. So that is a good development. So I think I only need those two fibs. Hold 77, and then it's going to break above 89 and then continue towards the log-based fibs above. So very nice back test, it looks like, even though when you do put on some of the indicators here, it is going back below some of the 50 and the 100, and they are slipping down. But also there's confluence of that 200-week moving average right there at 80.48. So I think around that $80, $77 zone, there's a lot of confluence of support there. So therefore, could be a good opportunity for a recovery. And also, it's not really a lower low from this point here on the high time frame. So this does have that potential to continue its journey upwards and beyond.
Very nice. Novo Nordisk. I remember I used to hear their ads all the time on NPR. Let's see. I do have BigBear.ai up because this is actually one I do want to get in. Thank you. So first off, just on the weekly time scale, BigBear.ai had an all-time high shortly after its debut, $16.12. I'm looking for it to get back to a 618 retrace from this low to 1018. So now let's get a little closer on this 8-hour chart. And let's see what happened is it did do this nice rush up to my largely 618 fib extension. And then now I'm tracking retrace. And what I simply did was let's see, is this the right one? No. This is I'm just tracking a potential ABC move back down. How did I figure this? I think I pulled this 100% off of, this level right here, the 244. And so I'm looking for it maybe to do a 786. This might be too much, though. Maybe it'll stop at anywhere between 646 and 550 is a good window to buy. And if it goes below that, then you're like in a sweet pocket, I suppose. So this is my anticipated buy zone, but it could go this far. Anyway, once it does, whatever it ends up finding the bottom down here, I think it could look really good for the future. BigBear.ai does naval. They do drone ships for the Navy. Is their big project. So I guess with the defense cutback, that might make it look like they would be headed lower. But no, we're definitely going to need more drone-based AI robot ships out in the ocean patrolling all those trade waters. So I like the fundamental story anyway.
In the Navy. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, I just saw a comment like
I saw a request.
I saw a comment like no
yeah.
YouTube today. I forgot to flip the switch to public, so it's on there. It's on YouTube now. So for people that were wondering what happened to it, but yeah, go ahead with your BlackBerry.
Blackberry AI looks very much like kind of like, I guess like a Palantir, because I thought Palantir would stop at the 786 extension and went to the 100% extension. Here I thought BlackBerry would stop at this 138.2 extension and it went up to the 150. So does that mean it won't make it to the 100%? Maybe not. Let's see. I guess I would say your buy zone somewhere. Well, it's still down to 100%, but you could bounce somewhere. I don't know. We'll just call this whole. I'll make it a big zone from 563 to 514. Basically, if you see it touch this Ichimoku baseline on the 8-hour, that's a great place to buy. If it hits the cloud top, that's a great place to buy. I think BlackBerry looks like it's good to keep going higher. I don't think it's finished 5 larger degree waves up. I think this is just maybe a wave 3 top. Well, we'll know for sure if it falls below this moving average 75, then that would make it. Oh no, that was wave 5. It doesn't look like a wave 5. This looks like a wave 3 top because it didn't melt up. So yeah, Blackberry, look for a little bit of a pullback, and yeah, I would buy it. Let's see, Big Bear, Palantir, Hood.
I'll do
Do we do Hood?
I'll do Nvidia. I have that pulled up here.
Okay.
Nvidia. So here's my chart, and stuck, right? So it's been in the same range basically since it kind of broke out in June, and with some liquidity grabs underneath, and it had another one just recently. So lots of fear during this last one though, because it looked kind of sketchy that it was going to break below the 50-week moving average for the first time in a very long time, which would be scary, right? But no, just a fake out, and there we go. So price is doing just fine. It's going up towards the 152 again, but the important thing to hold right now, in my opinion, is the conversion line right there, which is 133.07. Just keep maintaining above that, and I think it can just continue to slowly build a base. It is getting closer and closer to the cloud, so I think any week or month pretty soon it could be challenging all-time highs again. So just let it cool off for a little bit after a nice recovery. So 133 is the level, and I think sooner than later it will break back above this 152.
Yep. The longer it goes sideways, the stronger the move up. Let's see. So I do have. Let me just show you this. What was I going to do?
Yeah, and I see a lot of people they're requesting the same stuff over, but we're trying to go in order from the top, unless I see somebody on my Patreon, then I'll do those first. But essentially, yeah, just we'll get to as many as we can, guys. As many as we can. Go ahead.
Yeah. Here, pull me up, Matt. And I want to just refer back to this Blackberry where I just talked about how it doesn't look like a wave 5 top. It looks like a wave 3 top because it didn't like wick up. Okay, so now we're going to go to Hood. And look at Hood. This is what a wave 5 top looks like. You get this long vertical candle where the whole thing melts up at the end. Wave 3 had a nice wick. Wave 4 had a nice wick. Wave 5 was this big melt up, and then a failure to make a new higher high, and then so it drops back down. So Hood is in retracement as far as I'm concerned. If I'm wrong, it'll stop at this 8-hour Ichimoku baseline and find support and just keep going. Or maybe that could just be a smaller degree. A, B, can't get a higher high, and then C's down to the my moving average 75 on the 8-hour chart, and then makes a larger, starts to mount a recovery, but then falls back over again. Now this ABC is actually quite bullish because instead of retracing all the way to 618 from the wave 2 bottom here, so from the wave 2 bottom is where I set my 100% retracement from the top. And so only to 50% is really bullish. So let's see if it can hold up around 44.92 before going higher. I don't know. Matt might have a different take on Hood. What do you think, Matt?
No, I just think it could go all the way back down to 49 too to retest that 786 fib. But I don't know. It's bullish. It doesn't really matter. But I did want to address from doesn't matter. You guys always talk about the high time frames on your charts. How long are you looking? But it's not about how long. It's not about 5 to 10 years or 1 to 3 years. It's about trading the cycles, right? That's the high time frame determines the market structure, and it determines if a cycle is ending or beginning. And we determined that with Tesla, it was beginning like early in 2024, right? And even before that, really, it was kind of beginning. So that was the time you want to accumulate, right? And now Tesla is more like more of a mid cycle. It's not really that early cycle anymore. So it just the high time frame charts, they kind of determine the cycles. So if you want to get in or if you want to get out, and this is the best way to not round trip your holdings. Just wanted to say that. But yeah, with Hood, I can just show Hood real quick with my chart. So Robinhood, yeah, it got rejected by the 886 right here. So now I'm just going to, there is the conversion line down here at 51.97, but I just want to point out that if it cannot recover this 63.74 by the end of the week, then perhaps it's going to be more of a resistance and then drift down to sideways, perhaps even down to the 49.52 down here. But I want to also show you that it did the same thing at the 786, right? It actually opened a couple of weekly candles underneath it, then it finished the weeks off strong. So we still have a couple more days of the trading days, so it could just be a wick and it could close back above. So perhaps 63.74 could still possibly be a support zone. So we'll see. We'll see if it really wants to fight back tomorrow or later today to try to get back above this 63.74. But either way, bullish developments. This is almost looking like a guarantee to go to the hundreds, maybe even 140s, maybe 160s. So this is a very good thing because it still has not even broken into all-time highs yet, which means it's still an earlier cycle play than a lot of other things like an MSTR.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of MSTR, I just want to do a quick revisit of MSTR. They did. They're not called MicroStrategy anymore. I think they're trying to go by the name Strategy. It's not so micro anymore. So Saylor's he did another a fundraising round yesterday, or announced one anyway, and so price did push down. But as you can see on my chart here, I'm tracking this triangular action right here, and it didn't make a lower low or anything. It just it didn't even make. I mean, it's still yesterday's low was still higher than the previous low, so it's still just higher lows, higher lows. Um, it just has to. We're gonna have to go sideways a little bit more to see it hit up against this falling resistance trend line. It really needs to kind of push it back up. I don't know. I would even add more MicroStrategy if I didn't have a full size position now. Um, yeah, I'm still looking for it to move to at least maybe 400 next, uh, back to about 350, and then on up to 470. And on the larger degree chart, 615, 411. None of these numbers have changed because we still this is our wave two bottom right here, 281.01.
Yeah.
Wave one, wave two. Yeah. Okay, so don't worry about MicroStrategy. Is all I want to say.
Yeah, just more time. Like everything, it's just more time. But let me jump to coin because that's kind of related to it. And
Okay.
Coinbase,
Yeah.
we can see that it got rejected by this weekly conversion line for a long time. Ever since it broke below back in December 23rd, broke below, could not get above. It got above 1 week. It was a fake out, and it's been getting rejected by this blue line ever since. So perhaps it needs a retest of this 45-degree angle again, which is right there, maybe around 253. Perhaps even the baseline again, 247.94. But it's all part of the plan, part of the development of just shaking people's confidence, shaking them out, because it's still higher lows, right? Still higher lows. Even right now, even if it went down to 247, it's still a higher low from here. So it doesn't really matter if market structure is still fine. And this means that price can slowly probably recover on this angle and then get to the 320s again and then go higher. So I think what I'm looking at for Coinbase is more time, just like MicroStrategy, just like everything else, right? Perhaps it could take maybe more weeks, more months before it really wants to take off again. But to me, it doesn't really matter because I see really good growth with this over the future or in the future. So this is still fine. Still fine. And also,
Yep. And
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, showing my Coinbase chart. Well, finish your thought with Robinhood.
No. Oh wait. No thought with Robinhood. I was just gonna go do something else. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, show my screen real quick, and I'll just show. I think I talked about this just yesterday. As far as Coinbase goes, I see all this was wave one up to 288, wave two down to 146. So now the wave three sub one is completed. Wave three sub two is completed. That's the best time to have bought right there with some confirmation. And now what I see it doing is just an A B move to another minor degree 1-2 before it goes to finish all of three. So yeah, I really like the Coinbase action here, and we're going to see some crazy numbers on it in the future. So yeah, I'll add more coin. Actually, I did add more coin this past week.
All right, let me just jump to. Oh, I see ARKK and Snow. I'm going to get to those right now. So ARKK, it got rejected kind of by the 50% level already, and that was pretty obvious for a rejection zone. But now I want to see it try to hold this 45-degree angle, and I want to see it hold nicely, and I want to see it close back above. So currently it is below pre-market, and there still are 2 days left. So let's see if it can close above like $66 by Friday, just to try to maintain this as a support now, and then go higher. Because if it is a support continuously, then perhaps it can just stay in this little tiny wedge for a little bit and then finally break out above it and go higher. But if it starts to close back below like Palantir did with its angle, then guess what? We're going to retest levels below, possibly back in the low 60s or so before going higher again, which would mean more time, right? So if it can't close above it, it's going to take more time to get more bullish to break above that angle in the future. But if it can stay above it, it's going to break out sooner. And with the Snow here, wanted to jump on that. And Snow actually looks really bullish now. Pretty crazy. We can even put on the moving average here, right here, and that's the 200-week moving average that is kind of back testing right now. Let's see if it can close above. But the more important thing, besides that 200, is this orange level of the GAN here, where it's a previous resistance breakout, which was a fake out, and now it's trying to perhaps stay above the level, stay above the angle, stay above the 200. There's lots of confluence of support around here, so I'm really looking for staying above this like 186, 187 zone for the weekly candle close. Best case would be back above everything, even this 200-week moving average at 188.60, staying above that. But I kind of see good developments regardless if it closes above the 200 or not. I think there has a potential to stay on top of this angle here and then just continue its journey higher into the 220s again to where this ARK was, where it got rejected back in March of 2024. So it could go retest that again. But if it ever does start to close below this angle again, below like 184, then I'm going to assume perhaps it needs to go back to the 175s before going there. But the most important thing to me is this angle right here and the orange level, just staying above this zone, because if that can happen, then in the weeks to come, it can actually get more and more bullish. So it's right there looking ready for a breakout, but levels right here are necessary to hold. So tracker.
It's so funny. I have one last one here. First, I want to acknowledge thanks Ordinary Pencil for recognizing my wife's texting me. It is the Power Rangers Zordon calling. But I do want to do this weird request for you. I've never seen this chart before. Let's see if I just control. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I just drew this chart from scratch. So from its all-time high of $65.70, it made an all-time low of $15.28. And so it's just retracing back based on it going higher than the 382 and lower than the 236. Maybe it could even like a touchback to 2103 would be like a perfect 11.4% retracement fib touchback, but obviously the amount of risk of it going lower is much less than it going higher. But based off of more than 382, less than 236, I think it's going to go more than 618. And indeed, looking back here to these three wicks up here, I think it wants to go to 54.91. So yeah, here is a chance for getting in if you bought it right now, and it goes to 54.91. That's 149% higher for you. And you can see the whales really liked it. And then once they reached this peak, they just like disappeared. Let retail sell it off, and they're going to get ready to pick up the ball again here pretty soon. There you go.
All right. With that said, we got to run away. No more. No more.
What's do you want to take tomorrow off?
Yeah.
I want to take tomorrow
yeah,
off.
That's fine. I won't be taking any time off on my Patreon though. So if people want more live Matt, then join the Tier 4 Patreon.
Yeah, please do. His Patreon's fantastic, and all of his new. You've been bringing back all of your educational content as well.
Yeah,
like your tutorials.
I'll be probably making more videos this weekend, more educational stuff. So it'll be good stuff.
And all the ones he does, every single one of them is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, so no live show tomorrow
No.
from me, and but we'll be back on
Yeah, sounds
Monday.
great. See you guys Monday.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Bye bye.
See you, Matt.